Alright, so here we go. Yes, we've got some brand new changes to Diablo 4 because, yes, the game was just updated. Bosses have seen changes. Dungeons and monsters have also been updated. We're seeing changes with the classes and more. We'll talk about all of it. Plus, the Diablo 4 community calls Blizzard out for shutting the servers down for maintenance and updates with practically zero warning. We have a very interesting back and forth of sorts with fans on Twitter about this one. We'll get into it. And a major patch is also headed to, get this, yes, the PS5. I don't talk much about the PS5 here. Yes, it has been confirmed, as well as other platforms as well. Now, mentioning platforms, Whoopi Goldberg calls out Blizzard for not making Diablo 4 accessible on her favorite platform. But guess what? There's an actual workaround to this. Do you feel like you're not doing enough damage, or your stats just aren't outputting what they're supposed to? Well, here's an absolute key tip to help you out with that one. We have further PSAs and tips and tricks that will enhance your experience in Sanctuary. But yeah, let's get straight into this. First and foremost, going to the official Twitter accounts. We're starting with Adam Fletcher of Blizzard. He says this: we have pushed out a few new hotfixes to Diablo 4 tonight, early this morning. You could read up on them here. We'll note that the Pinnacle boss has not been unlocked yet. We'll follow up when this does unlock. Well, guess what? You did reply to this saying we have removed the restrictions on accessing the level 100 Pinnacle challenge. Good night from the War Room. Let me tell you what, they have been working on this game 24/7. Kudos to Blizzard for that one. But let's go to the actual blog post and talk about this one right here, hotfix 6 and 7. So if we scroll down here, it says this. We have some boss changes. Increase the level range for world bosses on world tier 3 and 4. Increase the total damage dealt by the level 100 Pinnacle boss and reduce their total health. Some interesting stuff going on there. Now for dungeons, they say this: made further adjustments to elite spawn rates in dungeons. Fix an issue where players would teleport to the wrong location in multiple dungeons while transitioning through levels of the dungeon. What about monsters? So Fly Host and Resurrected Fly Host from Trembling Masses will no longer be an infinite source of experience. We also have seen some class updates as well to the Rogue. Advanced Twisting Blades cooldown reduction now matches its tooltip, and legendary aspect changes include this: aspect of unstable imbuement no longer excessively benefits from damage amplification effects, and we have miscellaneous stuff, further stability fixes. So improvements, it seems like, all the way around. Let me know if any of those adjustments rub you the wrong way, of course. Overall, seems like they're on the right track. But yeah, we need to talk about this thread right here as well. You guys may remember that Adam Fletcher did say that the team is doing some back-end updates, which may cause a few hiccups. We got a reply here from Skinny Dip, who says, that's good then. I've had 2 crashes and the Curator boss glitched out, which made me rage. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I didn't play Diablo 3, so I was surprised how much I like this one. Adam Fletcher did confirm this. We got a Curator boss fix in the coming days. So if that's something that's been bothering you, don't worry. There is going to be a fix about that one. Mentioning all of these updates and maintenance for Diablo 4, it's definitely rubbing the community the wrong way, for sure. If you head to Reddit, check it out. We have 5,100 upvotes here. It says, Blizzard, please stop shutting down servers with zero warning. We're going to get into the reply from Blizzard about how they are doing updates here. Now it says, this is stupid. Last time it was to fix a bug with the cash shop. Great, I guess. But give a countdown warning or any kind of warning. Edit, I won't reply to further comments defending this. It's unconstructive. I'm just repeating myself and feeding trolls saying, cry harder, etc. What am I doing with my life? World of Warcraft, another Blizzard game, warns the players before shutting servers down. As they should, it's common sense. In the middle of a nightmare dungeon or a Helltide and servers suddenly go down. Oh no, planet, is that acceptable for you players? Full stop. No, I shouldn't have to keep checking Twitter. So yeah, it seems like players are wanting more feedback when it comes to maintenance, when it comes to updates. So let's see what Adam Fletcher had to say about this one. We had an interesting back and forth here on Twitter. So check it out. It says this, Timothy Meadows says, don't you think you should follow a proper release schedule rather than updating on a whim? And Adam Fletcher confirms back-end changes are different than a patch or something. Likewise, during launch week, it's critical for us to identify things that may not have been noticed prior in testing. These will be less frequent and as we get into a normal cadence. Skinny Dip says this: why did I pay to play early if you don't test things until after launch week, or did you word this wrong? Okay, Adam Fletcher says everything is always tested beforehand, but there can always be improvements. We choose to make improvements by releasing patches and bug fixes like every other game does, and will continue to do so. And Skinny Dip replies, yeah, but you said on release week? A lot of us were playing it a week earlier, would have seemed a better time to test things. I'm not a game dev though, so I don't know. Thanks for the reply. And Adam says this: there were updates also pushed then. It's a live product, so we will update when we believe it's best, and we try to do it with as minimal impact as possible. So he also did confirm, once again, Adam Fletcher, that maintenance and updates that we are seeing currently are going to become less frequent. You're not going to be expected to see constant maintenance and, interruptions. During launch, it is going to be more prevalent. That's just how it goes with a live service game like Diablo 4. And like they said previously yesterday, that this helps the long-term future of the game to make it more stable, so they don't have to keep doing this, so they don't have to keep updating. All right, so yes, we do have an interesting reply here as well. So we have Hitman Blood, who goes on to say this right here out on Twitter. He says the following: can you put these alerts in the game? Not everyone is on Twitter, could risk hardcore runs. That's an excellent point. Adam Fletcher did say this: the alert exists on breaking news as console players log in and on battle.net launcher. And the reply is this: I think what is being asked for is a system message like what you'd see in Diablo 3 or World of Warcraft. Example, server will be shutting down or rolling restarts in 15 minutes. That would at least warn hardcore players to maybe get to a safe place and wait out the maintenance so they don't die. Yeah, we've been seeing some hardcore players dying just because of the server maintenance. Can you imagine making it so far in your hardcore run and you die just because of server maintenance? That is a very big issue, of course, and needs to be rectified with some sort of warning as well. But yeah, we need to talk about that next major patch and also the PlayStation 5 version. So check it out. It says this: PSA, I heard from the nice people at Blizzard Entertainment the PS5 narration will be fixed in a major patch in a few weeks, as it requires testing and certification. Workaround is to play the PS4 version. Thank you for the transparency in communicating this. So yes, this is actually retweeted, by the way, by Adam Fletcher. So it does confirm that a major patch is being worked on for the PlayStation 5. Now, I would assume that this is also the case for every single platform. So yeah, expect that major patch to be happening in the coming weeks as well. All right, so I was not expecting this news whatsoever today. Check it out. Whoopi Goldberg had some choice words about Diablo 4. She's upset that she cannot play Diablo 4 on Apple products on her MacBook. So yes, there's an actual workaround to this though. I'll get into that in just a moment. But we have a reply here from Rod Ferguson, who goes on to say this right here. He says, I did not have Whoopi Goldberg yelling at me on Instagram on my Diablo 4 launch bingo card. You always have to be prepared for the unexpected. Anyway, let's head on over to what IGN had to say about this one, because they have an actual workaround. Check it out. It says this right here: if Goldberg is desperate to play Diablo 4 on Mac, she may be interested in Apple's new game porting toolkit, which aims to streamline the process of porting Windows games onto Mac computers. Redditor just reloaded, uploaded a video of Diablo 4 running on a Mac with the M2 Max chip and using Mac OS Sonoma, aka Max OS 14, plus the game porting toolkit. So yeah, it's actually somewhat possible to pull this off, although it would take some doing, but yeah, very possible at the very least. So hopefully Whoopi Goldberg can use this toolkit and actually get Diablo 4 up and running on her MacBook. All right, so we have this one right here as well. A PSA, you can disable the annoying I need mana voice lines. This also applies to every single class. So if you're annoyed that your character keeps going like, I need more fury or whatever as a barbarian, you can actually disable that. It can grate on your nerves over, the 100th hour that you're into the game or whatever. So yes, check it out in the tooltip. I think it will be super helpful to some of you. Also, if you're feeling like you're not gaining enough power, you're not doing enough damage, check this out. This is super important. It says item power breakpoint graphic. So it says Diablo 4 item power breakpoints. Upgrading an item power past the breakpoint brings all stats and skills to the next tier, giving larger boosts than regular upgrades. All substats are also re-rolled. Check this out. You guys can pause it for yourself so you can have a further understanding of the breakpoint. So each time you hit a new tier, you're going to see better and better results with your upgrades. I'm going to throw this in the description below, but this should be super helpful to those of you that are kind of like scratching your head wondering, hey, how do I get more powerful? How do I keep pushing this to its ultimate limit? That's one way that you can actually do it. Of course, you can combine that with the synergies with the Paragon, your skill sets and everything like that, and so on and so forth. But I think this is one element that's kind of overlooked. All right, check it out right here. It says, every dungeon has mobs that do not reward XP. So what in the world is going on here? It says, why is no one talking about this? Every single dungeon in the game, whether it's World Tier 1, 4, Nightmare, 125, doesn't matter, has mobs that do not give experience. Anytime there is that second objective room that has things like click 2 levers or survive the horde for 30 seconds, etc., none of the mobs reward experience. Sure, sometimes it's 5 mobs, but sometimes it's 100 plus. This is a gigantic issue. A lot of you think I'm talking about mobile rewarding events. I am not. The mandatory click 2 levers, etc. rooms that you have to do to progress to the rest of the dungeon do not reward experience. So, yeah, this is a problem, and it seems like it needs to be rectified. I'm curious to see what Blizzard will do about this in terms of adjusting the dungeons. I have a reply here. It says, I noticed it, but thought I was crazy. I hope it's not intentional for balance. And I'm kind of worried that it might be intentional for balance, but again, we need to get official word from Blizzard. I'm not going to speculate on that one. All right, so we have a list of all side quests that leads to dungeons for optimal renown. This is fantastic. Check it out. I'm going to actually throw this in the description for you all. I'm not going to read off all of it, but this is one of the best ways to get renown very, very quickly and should help you out big time. So check that out if you are wanting a perfect way to get renown. Now, also, we have this very cool concept that I think a lot of people took to and love. It says a quick little mock-up of the skill window UI that fits the full screen. So a lot of people want to be able to just see it in one viewing. And I think this would be a great, option. I think they should provide more options on how you can actually view the skill tree as well. Now, you can expand it, of course, and go into it right now, but you can't have that sort of layout. So I think it would be cool to have different options for that. Will they do it in the future? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be high on their priority list. Maybe down the road, but we'll see. Now, this is a great idea right here. We have a petition to put World Boss Helltide timers here, please. 4,900 upvotes right on the notice board. Can you imagine going up there and being able to just instantly see when the World Boss might spawn in or when the Helltide would, of course, come back around? I think that is such a great idea and fantastic. And it's kind of also embedded into the actual world, It doesn't feel too gimmicky. I think it would be very neat. All right, so now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. So let's see what you guys had to say about my most recent video, which was this one right here, a new warning, next major patch, monster variety updates, Helltide tips, and world bosses. So it's really cool because they will be updating monster variety in this game over the lifespan of the game. Kind of curious to see what that means for the open world, how that might evolve and change as well. But yeah, see what you guys had to say. So the Robodope says the world bosses need a random spawn with an obvious notification no matter where you are in the game. This also should be for world events, a small icon on the map, and go unnoticed. I totally agree. Several times I've missed these events right at the last second because there's not much of an in-game notice when you're actually just exploring. You have to go to the map and just happen upon the icon. So I think that this type of feedback needs to be improved. Now, Brian Wilson says this, my biggest gripe, which was mentioned in this video, is getting a gym bag tab. Maybe even put them in with the materials tab would work. No reason those should take up a full inventory slot. 100% agree. I'm honestly not too sure why they even decided to do this with the gyms in the first place, but I feel like it's such a huge oversight and it needs to be remedied very quickly now. Stoofed Pork says, I just wish the maps should stay discovered between characters at least during a season or just completely on non-seasonal. We keep the waypoints, but not the map discovery, which I understand helps with renown again, but the map part is more annoying than anything else. So it seems like you guys want that map like fully discovered instead of this fog of war each time you create like an alt character. Now, John says, PSA, the world boss will not spawn for you unless you've completed the entire campaign. I just learned this yesterday after starting last week's early access. If I had known earlier, I would have completed the campaign straight away. Yeah, I recommend that. Now it says, some have reported being able to join world boss events before finishing the campaign. Completing the campaign unlocked it for me and is the intended way to unlock world boss events according to several sources. Yes, that's actually correct. And I highly recommend finishing up the campaign before pursuing that sort of thing anyway, because also the campaign allows you to reach mostly around like level 45 in some cases. You're nearing level 50, but it does really help get you there. And of course, helps you with your alt characters. You no longer have to worry about playing the campaign if you don't want to on those alt accounts. All right, Digital Val says this, if you found all Lilith altars and you hover over your alt stats, strength, willpower, intelligence, dex, it'll say item contribution 68. I've seen this on all the alts I made at the beginning from leaving the mountain cave. The more you know. Now, Video Game says, I personally love the Helltide event. I do it every time I'm level 60 currently. I feel like there's a very good balance of things to do, and whenever the Helltide event appears on the map, I always rush into it as I know the rewards are so good, and I always try and kill the boss assassin. He knows what he's doing right here. Absolutely. And Mandolin Man says, I love the Helltide events, but density could be more for sure. Yeah, again, if the outcry is enough, Blizzard has a tendency to listen. So we'll see how noisy you guys are about the density with Helltides. I've heard some people say, it's fine. And then most people do want the density up. All right, so there it is. The latest happenings around Diablo 4. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more updates and news. I have you guys covered. And I will see you all next time. Take care.